Happy evening, friends. I'll get on with the session. This is a real life incident which has happened to me some 12 years back, 11 years back. Every now and then I recall this instance, this learning. I had moved from one organization to another organization. It was a totally different sector. So, from clothing retail, in which I've been working for 5-7 years, I moved to the educational institutions. For the first year, I was a very keen observer and I was trying to learn rather than trying to innovate or trying to give my instructions. I was only trying to follow the instructions given by the board meeting and pass on the instructions to my colleagues, the principals, the admin officer, and all those people in the campus. Say within a year, I was able to gain the confidence of the board and the other colleagues who were almost double my age. So after this 1 year, when I earned the confidence of the colleagues and also the board members, my father, who was the chairman then also, he delegated his powers to the vice chairman. And as I was earlier reporting to the chairman, now I had started reporting to the vice chairman. So after a few months of reporting to the vice chairman, I thought I'll start a new venture, something new, something different, something of the next level. So I proposed the idea or concept of a international school to the board members. To my surprise, majority of them could not believe in this concept of an international school with a swimming pool and an athletic track and a skating rink and all those things. And to make the situation worse, the principals on the campus, there were 3 principals and a few non-academic heads like those people also could not believe, they could not envisage that something of this sort could succeed in a place like Chengalpet. But I was the chairman's son. So what I had decided or whatever was my dream, I forced it through. Though I did not have the support of the other people, I said I'm going through with this and I pushed it through. So the other board members were not very happy. So my resolve became even stronger when because the principals were also not could not believe or could not envisage. And so at that point of time in my personal life, I was in a situation where I could contribute 16 to 18 hours of my daytime for work. So for the next 6 months, even in my sleep, I was planning for the school. Fortunately, I had a few colleagues who shared my dream. They had that same conviction and resolve. They believed in my idea. We had an extraordinary launch after that 6-8 months of working, and all was going well, really on the track which I wanted it to go, and in a very short span. But the last leg of this launch and the school admissions coincided with my MBA that I was doing in Mumbai with SP Jain Institute, Mumbai. So I had to go on a 22-day industrial visit spanning across Japan, China, Vietnam, and other countries to see the various companies, factories, how they work, how these countries work, to go and learn. But the school thing project was on the last leg, and I left from India, but I had only left physically. My heart and soul was still in Vidyasagar campus, and more specifically with Vidyasagar Global School. So my industrial visit MBA last leg started. As is a student life, the daytime was industrial visits, going around factories, companies, and meeting people, the government officials of those countries, and industrialists, and all those things. And evenings was fun time. We would go around to places and all those things. So my friends were enjoying the nightlife in these countries, but I was too mad about the school project. Everybody was still enjoying, and I decided to come back to the hotel room. I had a surprise when I came back to my hotel room. See, generally, my father, the chairman, never calls us when we are abroad. But it was one such time, and my father called up. I looked at the screen, and I was a little surprised. As some of us know, my father, chairman, is a man of very few words. He speaks very less. I switched on the phone, I spoke to him. He started by inquiring about my health, about the tour, and finally he said me, hey, he told me that he is already having enough other work and he is unable to handle the admissions pressure of the school project. I felt relieved. I felt so happy. He told me that school admissions had reached a threshold. It has reached the full intake capacity. Whatever was the admission capacity, it has already reached. And he's getting a lot of phone calls asking for more admissions. So I was very happy that all my hard work, all the teamwork of the team, everything had gone through. So I was on cloud nine. I was so happy. And though I was physically away, I was constantly remote controlling the proceedings. The success of this project changed my self-image totally. My reputation among the business circles and family absolutely was at some other level. It had gone up like anything. Especially with the inauguration of the school, all people, my relatives, my business circle people coming for the inauguration and all those things, their image about me totally changed. Mentally, I was in heaven. So for the next 6 months, I was enjoying this new found fame and recognition. This next 6 months, I was as if walking 1 foot above the air. My feet were not landing on the grounds. That was the mental frame I was in. Until one fine day. It was a parents-teacher meeting. And as is my practice, I was randomly meeting the parents. I particularly got interested when the school principal introduced me to one parent saying that he has brought in the biggest one single chunk of admissions. What happened after that was a life-changing discussion. And I asked him, what was the reason that he brought in so many admissions? So this parent answered that, Mr. Vikas, I believe the concept was amazing. Promotion strategy was very innovative. The brochure with the swimming pool, etc. is very attractive. But organizations making tall claims, showing dreams is very common. And he believed in all that was promised was because only of my father's photograph in the brochure. Look at my perplexed reaction. So the parent realized and he said, probably you did not recognize me. I know your family since long, and I know wherever Mr. Hastimal Suranas is involved, promises are delivered. During the admission at the school, the swimming pool was not yet ready, but he still believed all promises will be delivered, keeping only my chairman, the chairman in mind. It was an eye-opener for me. I felt like someone had woken up me from my dreams. From walking on 1 foot above the ground, it felt like I stumbled upon something and I almost fell down, but I managed myself and I was walking. I realized that day that there is always an invisible hand working with us. Some may call it luck, some may call it karma. But in my case, it was my father's goodwill, which was an invisible hand working with me. Since then, it is 12 years. Whenever for a fraction of a second, I have too much of feeling about myself, I recall my Guru Mahatriya's words, where he says, without me, God will not. But without God, I cannot. Mahatriya had always taught us, have pride in your effort, but also remember all that would have been futile if God's grace was not there. So by God's grace and my parents' upbringing and Mahatriya's teaching, taught me the humility to have such realizations and grace to accept the truth. Sometimes it takes many, many years to realize what was the invisible hand behind what thing. I've seen people who have learned this lesson a very harsh way, and they take a long time, and they've already suffered a lot by the time they realized this. But God was kind to me. I was taught in a very gentle way. I was fortunate that this lesson I learned pretty early in life, and God was kind enough to teach me in a gentle way, teach me pretty early in life. Thank you all for having heard me out. Thank you.